Greetings Midcoast Ukers, Jeff Weinberger coming at you here with a new ukulele tutorial. I'd like to talk about transposition today, and transposition is that process of taking a song from one key and putting into another key. The thing I played at the very top, Will the Circle Be Unbroken, we tend to do that in G. That seems to fit the singers that we have, and there might be an instance where somebody else is sitting in with us, somebody who likes to sing it in a different key, the key of C or the key of F. Or maybe a fiddle player wants to do it in D, that sort of thing. So you have to be ready for those situations. And I want to teach you how that works. So you probably already know about different keys and how each key in music has 7 different chords. And we've talked about that a little bit. But I'm going to be reviewing some of that in this video. So don't worry if some of this is new to you. So Will the Circle Be Unbroken in G, as Midcoast Ukes tends to do it? It starts on a G chord. G is the 1 chord in the key of G. We refer to it as the 1 chord, or the tonic. If you're talking about music theory, it's the tonic. So G goes to G7, and that leads to C. So C, that's the 4 chord. G, A, B, C, using our musical alphabet. C is the 4th chord in that key. It's the 4 chord. That's a very common thing to do in this kind of rootsy, Americana, folksy kind of music. The 1 chord to the 4 chord. That's an extremely common chord progression throughout rock and lots of other types of music too. So it's the 1 chord. I was standing by my window on one cold. And there you have the 4 chord. Cold and cloudy day. Back to the 1 chord. When I saw that hearse come rolling. So right there on rolling, we go to an E minor chord with my little E minor pinky trick, G to E minor. If you've never done that, that's a good one. You play a G chord and your pinky slams down on the 4th fret of the C string and you instantly have an E minor chord. You're just changing one note to make a whole new chord. So E minor is the 6th chord. It's the 6th minor chord. G, A, B, C, D, E. And the 6th chord is always minor, so it's an E minor. So there you go. That's pretty much all the chords in this song. We do have the 5 chord a little later. Let's not leave that out. So, for to carry my mother away. So that was 1, G, 5, D7, back to 1, G. Why is D7 considered 5? Well, G, A, B, C, D. And the 7th chord oftentimes is a 7th chord, a D7 in this case. Dominant 7th for those of you that are into music theory. So we are talking about the 1 chord, the 4 chord, the 6 chord, and then the 5 chord. And that's all the chords in this song. That G7, we just count that as the 1 chord too. It's like the G chord is 1, and G7 is just kind of a variation of that. Although in music theory circles we would call that a secondary dominant or the 5 of 4. But I know that for some of you is very confusing and doesn't make so much sense, so I'm not going to go there. We'll just consider for now G7 to be a variation of G. It's still the 1 chord. Alright, so why are we learning all this? Why are we learning about labeling chords with numbers? Well, it's all interesting and everything, but it's actually very useful. What it does, it allows us to quickly transpose to another key. So if we were going to do the Will the Circle Be Unbroken in the key of C, well, now C is the 1 chord. That'd be very high for me to sing, but I was standing. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to sing it well in C, but if somebody does and they requested that we do it in C, it's easy to find the ukulele chord. So C is 1, C7 is the next chord, and now we know we're supposed to go to the 4 chord, which was C, but now we're going to our new 4 chord in the key of C, which is F. Cold and cloudy day. And then we're staying on that 1 chord for a while. And we know at this point, on when I saw that hearse come rolling, that goes to the 6th minor chord. And the 6th minor chord in the key of C is A minor. C, D, E, F, G, A. It's the 6th chord, and the 6th chord is always minor. So A minor. We're just taking those chords and shifting them to a new key using our numbers, using our number system, our Roman numerals, and our fingers. And that gives us everything we need to know to transpose. But let's finish it up. All right, so after the 6th chord, it goes back to the 1 chord, which in the key of C is C. Goes to the 5 chord, which in this case is going to be G7, right? C, D, E, F, G, and we said it's usually dominant 7th. Used to be D7. In our old key of G, it was D7. In our new key of C, it is G7. And then back to the 1 chord. So here's a whole verse in the key of A minor that we just did. We just did the work. We transposed it. Now let's play it. So I wasn't even looking at the chords in the key of C. I was looking at our song sheet in G, but just transposing based on what I saw. And you'll learn how to do this too if you get enough practice doing it using this handy-dandy method. Let's put it into a different key. Let's put it in the key of F. And one thing that helps is to figure out how far away is the new key from the old key. And the new key of F is really a whole step lower than G. And it's one letter name lower than G. So if G is 1 in the old key, F is 1 in the new key. If G7 is the next chord in the old key, F7 is the chord for our new key of F. Everything goes down a whole step. 2 frets on the ukulele if you need a physical measurement to measure that by, if the concept of a whole step isn't making sense to you. Or if you know piano, you know that a whole step is from one white key to the next white key, as long as there's a black key in between them. That's a whole step, like C to D on the piano, whole step. All right, and then we go to the 4 chord. In the key of F, what is the 4 chord? It's B flat. I know that's a little bit tough for some of you, but you can do an easier B flat without the bar. And just omit that A string. I suggest that to all my students when they tell me that B flat is a little hard. So B flat's the 4 chord. F, G, A, B flat. Now you might not have known that that letter name B was supposed to be B flat. We're not going to worry about that too much. As long as you get the letter name right, you're in the right ballpark. And then sometimes you have to tweak those letter names with sharps and flats. We'll get into that later. I want to make this short. I don't want to go on for half an hour. And you probably don't want me to go on for half an hour. So we'll just assume that we know that it's B flat, the 4 chord. All right, it goes back to the 1 chord again on one cold and cloudy day. And our new 1 chord is what? It's F. So here's that first line. I was standing by my window on one cold and cloudy day. Because that's a little lower, that actually makes it fairly comfortable for me to sing. My voice likes the key of G okay, but it likes the key of F very much too. No strain whatsoever. It's right in my range. And then it goes back to that, it stays on that 1 chord, which was F, but it goes to that 6 minor chord. And what is the 6 minor chord in the key of F? F, G, A, B flat, C, D minor. There it is, 6 fingers, D. And we know the 6th chord is always minor, so D minor. When I saw that hearse come rolling, and that works, that sounds like it. For to carry my... Now D7 in the old key is going to become C7 in the new key. So carry my mother away. Now we're not doing the chorus just because the chorus is different lyrics but the same exact chords as the verse. Really, that's the whole song. We just went over all the chords in the entire song. So we did it first in G, which Midcoast Ukes normally practices it in. I showed you how to do it in C, and then we just left off doing it in F. So hopefully you see how that works. Let me know if you don't. Ask a question, leave a comment, email me, do whatever you have to do. Ask me next time I see you at our jam, and I'll enlighten you a little more about transposition. But this is a very valuable skill, even for beginners. Beginners should know how to take a song from one key to another. Even if you get a couple of them wrong, that's okay. It's good to start early and learn how to transpose stuff. All right, Midcoast Ukers, you take care. Bye-bye.